Good everyone, and how are you? Can you hear me okay, Brian and Mark? And Karen, are you hearing me okay? Yes. Well, thank you. Well, I hope you're all well. I've got an opportunity to listen back to last week's webinar. I want to do something a little bit radical today, if you got it. A few technical issues last week, not just myself, but some of the pen. And I can find the type pad. So we're speaking with each other. I missed Gary's voice when he found his type pad and just started typing instead. So, with that in mind, I'm to invite you, when questions, etc., to actually engage. I think it's important. It's a little bit of vocal variety to listeners, and that's more fun. This, the second of our webinars, and pearls. Now, you all think I am Darren. My Tricia, Pat. I visit a Pearlcatcher, and I'm actually for webinars at this moment. That's me. So what we'll look at today is a little bit of introduction, engagement, which I've already done by inviting you to actually speak, whichever you want. You've been sent a message, and quite sure how to do that. Yes, I can. One moment. Just need to. Sharon, thank you very much for that message. Right. So, look at the purpose of the webinar. We're going to explore deadly sin number 2, which learning equals cheap dip training. We're going to look a little bit at learning styles. We all have our own particular likes and dislikes. We will look at pearl number 2, which is learning is a process, not an event. We'll have time at the end for questions and answers, but if you have any questions throughout, please don't hesitate either to me or indicate the question. Okay. So this webinar is going to take you through our process, which will help you to set clear outcomes for the organisation, either your own, you work for, or if you are engaged by an organisation to come in and work with them on what they actually need doing. If we're setting clear outcomes for the learner, and we're learning to achieve. That will make sense. So, deadly sin number 2, learn equals dip training. Now, I should consider saying that slowly, because when I try and say it quickly, it comes out a little bit weird. Dip training. You see this little multicolored lamb. Looks sweet, doesn't it? I'm going to ask you a question. What do you think is meant by sheep dip training? Responses. Anyone? What? Right, it says generic training aimed at wide audience, not personalized. Absolutely. Not everyone goes through the same process and they are treated the same. Absolutely they are. Training? Today, that shame is a good thing. I know what I like. Not Karen, I'm with you all the way there. That's emphatic. No, unfortunately, it does go on. You would, in our heightened age of learning, that they message, but they're not practice. Will seem to assume that learning and training are the same thing. That's true. So the definition of sheep dip training is quite simply where the training is done under classic model in a classroom, given on a specific topic and sending them to work. And it is, and everyone getting some message. So it's of the individual learner. That's it. And our blog, which hopefully you read, Tom Jenkins and Susan Morris of Advanced Business Learning. The logic is that if you are a sheep, and if you're in this here training, then problems will either be cured or prevented. End of story. Return on investment equals zero. We are lacking in sheep training. There's one aspect that is totally missing here. What motivation? Why would I learn in this way? No provision for follow-up, for practice, etc. I read a blog which I'll share with you. 7 reasons why sheep dip, and this is sales training, so why sheep dip sales training is not effective training. Other types of training, not just sales. A sheep dip training course means you will book cheap, poor quality, rather than the level and quality your staff need and deserve. Okay? And if it's dip training, artificial effects have worn off, and natural talent will absorb that training and leave you for another company or competitor. That money to damage your business. All sheep dip will deliver you, but the quicker than a sustained training program properly embedded. Damage to your business. us personally in organisations I've worked for, low ability staff, I've had low guarded staff, so that could be people like etc. Far from a sheep dip because you aren't giving them the chance to develop. Okay. Also, if the training is good, let's have it. More. When sheep dip, you get them all excited, and when it fails to turn up, they become motivated, which is the very opposite of your objective. So if on an or biannual sheep dip, every year, selecting a training company, right to one for long term and letting them work with you and your teams to deliver right training at the right time. I have had experience of what they would call sheep dip training. And now, how did it make you feel? And you actually didn't feel valued, full. I agree with you. That's right. I went on what I would term sheep dip courses back in the day when I was employed by organisations. I think, well, that was the time. Or I said how to do that. And if you were sitting there, you were listening to the trainer, you were taking notes, you moved, etc. But you weren't given the opportunity to practice it and to embed it. I'm in the office, and it could be a couple of weeks later, think, oh, that would be used now. What is it? How do I do that? Oh, Lord, I have no one to go to ask the question. When you say that organisations spent on training, sure sense to go for the right kind of training, get most value for money. You're also going to get greater value because they're going to have a company they can go back to. So, who has to take sheep dip training? That person obviously doesn't. So, everyone. Karen, everyone is different and they learn differently. Also, for those of you who may have joined after the very beginning, please feel free to join the conversation, not just use the pad. Except you can speak to me. Okay. So, our definition of sheep dip training, bullets, it's all about the training course and not the learning. It's too formal. Pictures, particularly sort of the ones of us when you sat there in your rows in the wooden desk that you picked them up, and you're all in your rows, and you open the teacher, ask you a question, and this, that, and the other. It's too formal. Absolutely no regard for learning styles. And there's no consideration about learners' abilities to use the tools. Do on different learning in a minute, but so I'll go into my rant at this point. I'll save that for later. Also, training companies think that you can totally ignore or control informal learning. Informal learning. Learning is invaluable. It's formal and absolutely use it, and I'm going to explain more about that very shortly. Learning styles. So I found mind map on the website. Funny enough, I thought I've got to use it here. It does everything, but I just like the way it's set out. I have different learning styles. And just out of curiosity, those of you participating today, do you know what type of learning you prefer yourselves? If you're something new, how would you like to learn? Like visual learning. Okay. I'll use pictures, things you can see, things up to you. Honey and Mumford Chaz. I blog as well. Reflector and a theorist. Okay. Sure what type of learning style you prefer. There's a couple of websites you can go on and do an online test. Casual, right? And learning styles. Actually, rather than going Googling, contact us at Pearlcatchers. We can ask quiz. Right. Someone's got an audio. I think you're the only one, so it might have something to do with your end. Going back to this mind map. Here, the visual is pictures, colours, music, sound, etc. Whereas aesthetics is very much touch and physical, being able to do something. Need something new to go and do it. Ultimately, I'm a very kinesthetic person. I like my way through something. Test out. And I mean, that's missing. Being able to test out something. Learning opportunities need to have that included in it. Someone on me today who's running a web, which is absolutely brilliant, and I know he has already incorporated all these aspects into his. And it's far before we move on. Okay. On to our pole of wisdom number 2, which is learning is a process and not an event. Oscars, etc. The red carpet treatment. That's not learning. That's an event. It is an event that takes place and then. Why do you think we say learning is a process and not an event?
Time.
Absolutely, it's not one-off.
I think because it's a continual process as well. It to be continuous to work and have a sustainability.
And thank you. Something I missed it. Sorry, can you repeat it?
It was not.
Okay. So, process, not it. Learning. No. And as a event, the day I'm learning is the day I'm 6 foot tall. We do all our lives. So they make it easy to access the information that people are looking for. For when needed. 70% access. Quite a few do. Article in Personnel Today which enabling informal and social learning in the organisation, and far more important for learning and development professionals. So what the research says, the amount of time people spend on different types of learning, so what it was 7% was informal or on-the-job and experience-based, 20% coaching, mentoring, developing through others, and 10% on formal learning intervention. Okay. What does it do?
Karen here. A lot more people are learning sort of through other colleagues, through having conversations, than having the sort of traditional, okay, I'm going to go into a classroom now and sit here and learn something. It's much more conversational and much more around, okay, well, let me learn from my peers. Let me learn from people who have got more experience than I have. Let me ask them about experience and what they come across or sort of the different ways I can do this.
Yeah. And it's estimated, unfortunately, it often is. What we think about that? So we learning that people go through great follow-up support. In this place of coach, mentors who's got great experience in that field and mentor areas. But the process itself has got to include engagement. It's got to include time for learners to practice what it is they've learned, to put it into practice. Because at place, you need to be able to put in what you have learned. As much more ongoing buddy system, observational, yes, absolutely. Something for you. Learning ideas of what is informal learning. I've got it here. See if I can tick them off as you can go. Learning. Speaking colleagues, absolutely, yes. Hi. I'll read to you from the list I've got. What's this?
Hang on a minute, just mute this woman that's still in there.
Okay. As you said.
Oh, she said to me, we need to talk about the feedback. Can you come over to Alpha? So I did. So I was with her on Monday. And she didn't tell me what we were going to do. Originally, it was just we had that earlier meeting, the one day one or whatever it was. I can't remember the conference call that was she had. I don't really know what happens anymore. Said, we just need to see all the feedback because bits of it, and I've got very selective memory, and as far as I remembered, we'd all copied in, all of you, when you sent the feedback. Really realised that you sent it exclusively to me anyway. So I thought, okay, well that's fine. Everybody wants to see everything. It really occurred to me that
Maybe picked someone else's call through here. So webinars such as this, we're looking at websites, chat work, cases, podcasts, webinars, action. Those are just a few of the informal learning. On a more social aspect, you've got things like blogs, videos, online. Formal. Whereas formal, what they list as formal is e-learning, colleges, roadshows, things like they do in a hospital, and your training as a doctor, you do rotations between different departments. Based learning, perform use, don't we all love those? Game learning, and a few of that is Christina Gadd and the she trains. The classrooms and forums. A whole host of ways in which we learn paper. More about this, if you haven't received it already, I recommend that you sign up for the Purple Papers. For the the Purple Papers, the things came out today. And they are quite a few, as we're talking about today. And I recommend that you sign up and read, because there's a lesson. Oh, about technology and learning, did you? Yes, quite good myself. It shows. It's all right. As wrote it for the benefit of those ones who wrote that paper. I highly recommend it. And yet, technology does play a huge part in learning. Sections at this moment. Questions? Anyone? Yeah. Okay. I hope it's a perfect list, and I hope you're doing reading them. So move. Okay. So next webinar will be next Friday at 2:30. So we'll be dealing with sin number 3, which is don't gauge emotions, just do it. And maximize natural learning. Okay. Joe, I'm not sure about that. 'Cause, I'll ask you after the event, if that's okay. Sorry about that. On the webinar, we're also going to be doing with two sins, the goal of maximum natural learning, infant sins, which just don't engage emotions, just do it, and practice follow-up, which is a little of what we've covered today, but we'll be covering it in greater detail next week. So, any questions? For those of you who are still having a few technical issues, we can apologise and we'll see if we can sort out the recording, which will be available quite shortly when this webinar finishes. Okay? Let's move towards informal and social movement and supporting individuals. I totally agree, Karen. In learning is so invaluable, particularly if you also bring in to play something like coaching, which the individual in there. Now, I use this if I'm in course, or I should say, within two. One carried out with the individual about 2 weeks after they've returned to the workplace, just to check everything's okay, and explore how they want to date for, say, a month's time, for them, what they didn't, to demonstrate the reasons why. And it's not just about the learner that needs to be involved. The learner needs to know, have the support of their organisation, that learn should be implemented. That place. Why anyone on the course? After you're sent on a course, gone back, I know others aren't employed anymore, but think back to when you were, you've taken it back to work, you're all excited, you come into practice, only to do that, the IT won't support that, or the accounts package won't support that. And so what? Yeah, low skills if I can't put them into play. Has anyone that? Okay, yep, chances I'm surprised if anyone hasn't. And how devastating is that? Absolutely. We would actually really like you to leave feedback and so here, please do leave. Guess what? It's another learning process. So if you key fusion, that's where we're back. And we do. Okay. So questions before we finish today? I'd like you for taking part, by the way. Thank you very much. And people. And I think you're getting something from the webinar. And you've got quiet. Okay, with that, I will say thank you very much again for participating. I look forward to engaging with you again next week. Read purple papers. Thank you.